there are journeys. We begin in order to escape, and others that transform us without asking our permission. Some begin with ambition, others with fear, often with both. Heinrich Harrer does not leave in search of wisdom. He leaves to be great, to be seen, to matter. He wants the world to recognize his strength, his courage, his endurance. But beneath this desire, there is something quieter, a refusal to stay, a fear of remaining. He escapes a life that feels too narrow, a responsibility too heavy, a child he has not yet learned to love. The mountain is waiting, still, silent, indifferent. The Himalayas do not care about ambition. They do not respond to pride. They do not negotiate. They stand and they watch. The Himalayas promise nothing. They do not reassure. They do not seduce. They reveal. The expedition fails. Not suddenly, but slowly. Weather turns. Bodies weaken. Hope thins. Then war breaks out. As if the world itself had fractured. Harrer is captured, removed from movement, from choice, from direction. The world he believed he controlled collapses within weeks. In the prison camp, time changes its nature. It stretches. It thickens. It presses down on the chest. Each day resembles the one before. Each night weighs a little more. Memories become sharper than reality. Regret grows louder than thought. Freedom turns into an abstract idea. Something remembered, no longer felt. To escape is not a heroic act. It is not courage. It is survival. It is an inner necessity. A refusal to disappear from oneself, to walk, or to die from within. The journey is long. The cold is violent. Hunger is constant. Feet bleed. Breath burns. Sleep becomes fragile. The body suffers. The ego as well. And for the first time, something breaks. Not the bones, not the will, but the certainty of who he thought he was. When everything disappears, comfort, status, the gaze of others, all that remains is a man facing himself. No titles, no audience, no escape, only breath, only steps, only silence. Tibet appears, not as a victory, not as a destination achieved, as a silent refuge, a world where people walk slowly, where listening comes before speaking, where nothing needs to be owned, a world that does not rush to define itself, The Tibetan people welcome Hara without questions. They do not ask where he comes from. They do not ask what he believes. They do not ask what he has done. A bowl of tea, a peaceful gaze, a space to exist. This simplicity disarms him. At first, he does not understand. The slowness irritates him. The calm unsettles him. He looks for rules, for hierarchy, for efficiency. He still tries to dominate, to explain, to control. But this place does not respond to force. Then gradually he observes the rhythm of days, the patience of gestures. Prayer wheels turn again and again. Hands release them gently, without expectation, as if the world were repeating a truth. Until one is ready to hear it, he meets a child. The Dalai Lama is not yet a symbol. He is curious, lively, laughing. He asks questions, not to challenge, but to understand. Questions about machines, about the world beyond the mountains, about human behavior. Questions that reveal as much as they seek. Between them, something is born. A bond without domination, without imposed roles. No teacher, no disciple, just presence. Hara, who fled fatherhood, becomes presence. Simply, he listens. He answers honestly. He stays. In the eyes of this child, he learns to see himself differently. No longer as a conqueror, no longer as a man who must prove, but as a man in the making, someone unfinished, someone capable of change. Tibet works in silence. It does not correct. It does not lecture. It does not impose. It gently wears down the edges, as water smooths stone, day after day, without effort, without judgment. Hara learns to listen, to wait, to accept not understanding immediately, to accept that meaning does not always arrive with answers. Sometimes it arrives with stillness, but no sanctuary lasts forever. Violence arrives, brutal, incomprehensible. Weapons replace prayers. Fear replaces ritual. A world built on patience is torn open by force. Hara watches a culture he loves begin to fracture, and he cannot stop it. For the first time, he understands loss, not as failure, but as grief. He understands what it means to belong, because only what we belong to can truly be lost. Leaving Tibet is a wound, a quiet one, but deep. It is also a proof he is no longer the man who arrived. He leaves something behind and carries something within. The return is quiet, The world feels louder, faster, less patient. His son is there, almost a stranger. 7 years cannot be recovered. Time does not rewind, but something else is possible. Hara has learned the essential. Love is not a performance. It is not achievement. It is not intensity. It is a repeated presence, imperfect, fragile, but sincere. It is staying, even when one does not or know how. 7 Years in Tibet is not the story of an exploit. It is the story of a man who had to lose himself in order to become human. The true summit is not a mountain. It is the place where one stops trying to dominate and begins to understand. White heart